looks like. She has a minor chip right there. Could just be a growing bone, but it's a chip. So I'm gonna call Dr. Johnson. Hello, Dr. Johnson. I feel like there's a chip in, what's her name?
So after we went to first care on Sunday to get Maddie all checked out, they put her in a splint, but they wanted her to be checked out by an orthopedist because growth plates and growing and bones and children, I don't know. Anyway, they wanted her to be seen by an orthopedist, and we got a call this morning that we could get in, but we had to come this morning. So we're leaving for New York on Friday. We're trying to get things wrapped up and figured out before we leave, so we go in. Maddie is fully convinced, and I'm not far behind her, that they're going to say it's no big deal. Maddie has zero pain, and they're going to just send us home and say, you don't need to do anything. Well, after reviewing some things and doing some tests, they're still not convinced it's a fracture, but they're also not convinced it's not a fracture. So she doesn't have to wear a cast, there's no surgery, and that was the first time I'd heard the S word, but they do want her to continue wearing her splint when she's outside. Effectively, when she's in environments where she could rack it on something hard, she could fall down on something hard. Inside the house, they think she's fine, she can take breaks from it, she can shower without it, all this good stuff. To me, this is great news. This is a step in the right direction. We're gonna have a checkup in 2 weeks. It makes things a little bit complicated for New York, but not like cast complicated, right? This is great news to me. This is not great news to Maddie. Maddie is fully expecting to leave without having anything on her arm, and she is really upset. And so, as a full-grown adult who can recognize the whole scope of this, I recognize that this is actually pretty good news, and it's going to make a number of things easier for her beyond just this morning. But right now, what she sees is I gotta go back to school with my splint on. Often as leaders, it's our job to put people in situations they would rather not be in because we know it's gonna be better for them in the long run. Sometimes people are gonna be charged with doing things that are difficult or uncomfortable or icky because it's good in the long run, just doesn't feel great right now. I think the challenge, especially for people in upper leadership, is that we don't always have those people to push us in that way. It's easier for us to avoid some of the icky stuff because there's no one that says, yeah, you've got to do this, because we're the people in charge sometimes. So I think a good discipline to get in is to recognize that sometimes the hard stuff is the best stuff, and we have to force ourselves to do it because no one else is going to do that for us. So today I had to make my kid go to school in a splint, even though she did not want to do that. And there's probably some hard stuff that I need to do today too that I would rather not do.